Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, which I didn't watch last night. Jeff Lewis live today. How are you? I hope you had a great weekend. Hope it's starting to look like spring for everybody. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that every year around my birthday, so I did it a little bit early this year. We had a pretty bad freeze a few weeks ago, so I lost a lot of my flowers and my greenery in the front lawn, so it was driving me nuts. I couldn't wait much longer. So Friday and Saturday, I went to buy new flowers, new greenery, just for the front yard, the backyard, everything that I love, and had my favorite guy plant that stuff Saturday morning. And then I felt like it didn't have enough. I always think I underbuy. It seems like you buy a lot of plants, and I have a lot of beds. I have a lot of space to cover. So, and I like seeing mulch, but I'd rather see flowers and color and pretty. So went back to a different nursery Saturday morning, and then he came back, I think today. No, I went Saturday afternoon after he left. And then I think he came back today and did it. So anyways, I don't know what it is here. I love that it's 67 in Tennessee. That sounds beautiful, Southern Belle Cells. 67, and if it's sunny anyways. I love the sun. So yesterday, I went on this walk that I've been liking lately with this hiking group that I'm in. Only one person ended up showing up. So thank goodness one of the people showed up, because a few RSVP'd and only one showed up. But we had a great time. Like, I really got along with this lady. We shopped, we talked, we walked, we ate lunch together. It was so fun, but it was chilly. Like, I had an earmuff thing over my ears. I definitely need to understand the new update that Apple did to my phone. I don't understand the weather. It's different, and I don't understand my emails. I cannot get to my emails like normal, and it is driving me nuts, because then I have to go on my desktop or this computer and check my email, because I don't like doing it on the I don't like the new layout of it, whatever. So good question. Raquel says, what's your budget for outdoor flowers? I give myself a budget, or else I go overboard. I don't really have a budget. I can tell you I spent, oh gosh, what was it? Friday. I think Friday's was like three-ish, 300 to 400. I don't remember the exact total. And then Saturday's was 191. I do remember what that one was, because it was Saturdays. Fridays, I don't really remember. And then of course I got to pay my guy to plant it and for the mulch. So, and we have quite a bit of mulch, but anyways, I don't really know. I did order. I went to Home Goods, so I did run a few errands this morning. My throat feels scratchy. I did go to Home Goods this morning, and they've got a lot of really good. They call it oh gosh, what's it called? Touch, feel. I don't know what they call. It's supposed to feel like really good. It's not like silk flowers. It's like rubbery. Anyways, they had so many of them, and I was really looking at those, and I'm like, I'm going to order me some fake flowers. So I've got 2 pots out in the front of my lawn that I can just never keep anything alive in them. I don't know why. Maybe because they're not actually in the soil. This drives me nuts. My throat feels scratchy for some reason. Not scratchy, but tickly throat. And I don't even know water up here. So I did go to Home Goods because I was there last week looking for a lamp, and because we found out our lamp was broken and glued back together, and none of our 5 kids will admit to it. Anyways, but it's a lamp I've had like 19 years, so I'm good with replacing it. And I was looking at all of their fake flowers. So I think in my backyard, I ordered some on Walmart. I'm waiting for them to come in so I can see what they look like. But in this back corner, it's really far away. I'm thinking of pushing some fake flowers in there. And like maybe from far away, they're going to look really good, and then they'll stay really good. So I'm not opposed to that. So also I stopped in there because I was seeing if they had new pots, because my pots are cracked. Not terribly, but they are cracked. I guess the heat, I don't really know. And they sell ones I just didn't love the combos. Like, I think Home Goods is a lot more contemporary looking stuff than my style of traditional. It is just scratchy right there, tickly. It's driving me nuts. Of course, it starts as soon as I get up here, right? But I didn't find anything that I loved. So then I searched on Amazon and I wanted to see the reviews and all this stuff. So I did order me, I think I did the blue azaleas. So I'll see how those look, and just put some fake plants in there and maybe they'll look really good. We were at Local Foods yesterday and they had some ferns up. And of course, as soon as I got up close, I could tell that they were fake. And I'm like, from far away, they look really good. So, like, why am I going to stress myself out? You know what I mean? Over that. Wow, that's a lot of money. Where are you at? Heather says 2 large hanging baskets can cost around $150 each here. It's nothing to spend $2,000 for the whole home. Floor box. What's a floor box? And something dies every year. Oh yeah, our stuff dies every year. We don't make it all last. Oh, in Canada? Like a hanging basket? I almost bought some ferns Saturday to hang on my front porch because I've got 4 hooks to hang stuff, and I've bought stuff before, real flowers, and they don't last, but they were like $16.99. Most of the plants that I buy, unless it's this is driving me freaking nuts. It's literally, let me see if I can get a water, y'all. Just get distracted. Okay, I found a water in my daughter's room. I'm like and it's got lipstick on, or is that lipstick? Yes. Anyways, they were only like $16.99. So I think like knockout roses, which I didn't happen to buy this time, those are like $24.99. It's all fresh on my brain because I was just there. What's a flower box, y'all? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what a flower box is. Hope it was lipstick. Oh yeah, that's lipstick. This is the daughter that just flew home for spring break Friday. So, and another daughter comes in today for spring break. So she'll be here about an hour. Anyways, but yeah, most of the flowers and greenery that I get each are about $16.99 to about $24.99. So not terrible. So our prices must be much better than in Canada. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know what? I did get some azaleas, and I don't think I've had azaleas in forever. I got 2 azaleas on one side and two white azaleas and 2 white azaleas on the other side. It's a box shape holding flowers. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We don't have those. We don't have flowers on our windows. We have shutters. We don't have flower boxes. Okay, now I know what you mean. I just saw some flower boxes at Costco, like to do a garden. So anyway, yeah, home for spring break. Hope it's water and not GHB. What is GHB? This is definitely water. What is GHB? Now I have no idea what that is. Anyways, okay. We only buy perennials. See, I don't know anything. I mean, annuals, perennials, if it's not pretty and flowering, I'm telling him to rip that shit up and we're putting something new in. So definitely probably a third or a quarter of my stuff stays, but I always have to re-put in new stuff. And usually in the fall, I have to put in new stuff also. Not completely new, but by then, the fall, I don't want, like right now I have like pinks and purples and salmon colors and white, and then I'm going to have the blue fake azaleas the blue fake hydrangeas if they work out. And in the fall, I want like a little bit, orangier and the dark yellow colors. So anyways, I just don't like doing it myself. Like I like the look of it, but like touching mulch and digging up and getting my back down there. And are you out of your mind? GHB for real? If it was her daughter, would be sacked and she'd know. Come on. What is GHB? What are y'all talking about? Okay, I have no idea what y'all talking about. Now you've got me wondering. Do y'all have daffodils? I don't. Oh, I might have daffodils. Do I have daffodils? I don't know. I just pick out stuff. I do think I have some daffodils, though. It's a drug. No, I'm pretty sure date rape drug. What are y'all talking about? This is from my daughter's bedroom. Oh, y'all got some imaginations going on there. Okay, let's chat the latest news. I didn't watch any TV last night because I was at Matt Rife concert. He's the comedian that is so cute. He's known for like posting his crowd work on TikTok. Crowd work meaning like he talks to the audience that they're in, the couple front rows, whatever. This tour though was called like the Golden Blonde Tour, and I was like, ugh. I do not like him with blonde hair. Now, not that it matters. I mean, I'm almost twice his age. Literally, he's almost 30. He told us last night. But in the concert, he came out. It was at Toyota Center in Houston, which is a huge venue. He said it's his first big venue like this. So that was pretty exciting. Maybe that's why they were 45 minutes late starting the dang show. No, nothing. No DJ, no nothing. Just like music playing for 45 minutes. So that was kind of lame. But we went to dinner before. We had fun, caught up and everything. And somebody had told me that I was going to be disappointed. A lot of you, several of y'all told me, oh, you're going to be disappointed. He doesn't really do crowd work because these big stadiums that he does now, he only does those in like his small venues. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. But I think the crowd work is fun, whatever. He totally did it. And he totally had brown hair. He didn't have the pedophile looking mustache that he had in these other ads for this comedy show. He was so funny, so good. The audience definitely did their part. Some lady, it was chilly last night. So it took probably at least 10 to 15 minutes to get into the Toyota Center. So I've been to the Toyota Center a lot. Madonna was there. I mean, I've seen was Cyndi Lauper there? I don't remember where Cyndi Lauper was. Probably. New Kids on the Block tour, the mixtape tour. I mean, I've been there for a lot. I've never had to wait in line like this. I don't know if it was just sold out. I have no idea, but I've been to some big events there. And so we're waiting outside, which was fine because I had like a long sleeve dress on. I mean, I was fine. But this lady, like 15 minutes into the show, Matt looks over and he's like, is that a baby? Someone had brought a 7-month-old baby. Now it had headphones on for the noise. And then it had a onesie, just a onesie, and then one sock on its foot. I was like, oh my God. Cause I was freezing inside the venue. Like it was chilly. Like I put my hand up to my sister-in-law's neck and then my other friend, and I was like, oh my God, we were cold. And then this baby sitting there in a onesie with, earphones on. So it had a shirt. The onesie said something like, hold me, Matt Rife. So she clearly bought tickets close enough. We did not have tickets that close. Didn't want to spend the money, and I don't need to see him up close because I don't want to talk to him and do crowd work with Matt Rife. Anyways, but he was totally putting them down and like for bringing a baby to the show. Like, I think they thought this was going to go a little better for them. And instead they had to know, hey, it's Matt Rife. He's going to put you down if you want, you know what I mean? Okay, listen though, don't buy a ticket if you don't have a babysitter. That's what he even said. Look, if trust me, up close, their tickets were probably in the $400 range after the fees. So they spent $800 and they can't have a babysitter on a Sunday night. The show started at 7. It wasn't like it ended at, 1 a.m. or anything. And then she points out her mom. They said, Matt Rife says, where's grandma or where's your babysitter? And she goes, oh, my mom's over there. So they were sitting, it was like a square stage. The couple was sitting here with the baby and her mom was sitting over here at the show. So and they go, look, you've had your nights out. You should be home watching the baby. It was actually kind of funny. Would he make a good chump? I don't think so. No. Heather says, would he make a good chump? First of all, he doesn't live in LA. He lives somewhere. He said, He said he just bought a house and he goes, up north, he goes in none your fucking businessville. Which I thought was kind of funny. He lives up in like Rhode Island or something, I've heard, or something like that. But no, I don't think he'd be a good chump. I think he's just too used to having, he's young. He's only 29 years old, but he's filling out, venues like, these huge stadiums and such. So I just think he's too, I don't know. How do I put that? Because so does Fortune Beamster. I don't know. I just think he's too, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't think, did anyone recognize you at the event? No. Or if they did, they didn't say anything. No idea. But yeah, I just don't think he'd be a good chump. But he was funny. He did a lot of crowd work. Another couple that was there owns this titty bar in Houston called Colorado that's been around forever. The husband and wife were there. And sometime during the show, now this kind of reminded me of something that a chump would do. She must get a notification when there's what is the thing called when you get like a review, like a Yelp review or whatever whatever review would be for a titty bar. I mean, a strip club. She got a notification later and somebody had went to the bathroom because he admitted it. He was someone in the front and he did like a funny review. So I don't even know how to find that or whatever, but anyways, it was funny. And I'm like, that is definitely something that a chump would do. Yeah, the babysitters were probably there. It was so many people. It was a really good time. I mean, clearly he's known for being just a cutie patootie. He's, he always jokes with like the grandmas in the audience. So there was a 73-year-old in the audience and he was like, oh yeah, I would bang you. It was really funny. Oh, they had Dancing with the Stars. Ileana says, I went to Dancing with the Stars last night at Smart Financial. The dancers were fabulous. The costumes and the stage was not great. Oh, darn. I love a good costume. We saw, remember I took my daughter who loves Dancing with the Stars. We went and saw, what's the guy? The big guy, Derek Huff and his wife in that big show for Christmas. And it was fan-freaking-tastic. It was so good. And the costumes were amazing. So good. Christina, you're only number 6. Do we have 127 people on here and only 6 have hit the thumbs up button? Come on, y'all. Please hit the thumbs up button. It would really mean a lot to me. Yeah, I did I hit the mute button? I don't even hit anything. Y'all can see my hands. It's like the computer just likes to, there's a mute button right down there. And it's somehow like all I have on here is paper, like for my notes, like nothing should be hitting that. You know what I mean? Oh, Cecile says, Matt Rife is coming to a city near me and I'd love to see him, but I hate the stadium venue. Oh yeah. So my sister-in-law met at my house and parked her car. Then we drove in to have dinner. And then our other friend met us there. And so 2 of us had to park at the venue. So my sister-in-law, we sat for a solid 15 minutes going nowhere out of the venue, which is so frustrating to me because like, I don't mind a crowd, but I'm only 51 and I'm in decent shape, not my best shape ever. But these stairs going down are a lot. It's dark. A lot of the stairs are wide. I mean, it's a lot. And I'm like, God bless people. Like the Houston Rodeo is going on right now, which is huge, so popular. It drives me nuts. Like I'll end up at the rodeo again, but it drives me nuts. There's so many people. Parking is horrific. You have to do a shuttle bus situation. I mean, and when you're ready to leave, you're not ready to leave because then you got to wait on a shuttle bus to go back to your car to get, it's just so annoying. So annoying. Okay, there are more than 6 likes. Thank you. But still, that's hardly any considering. Lisa, you would love, I meant to send you a DM and I just haven't had time yet. The lady that went on the walk with me on Saturday, I just met her through this hiking group that I've been in for a couple of years. And she loves Aldi and she knew about the cacao. And I was like, oh my God, my friend Lisa in Kentucky loves Aldi. She tells me all about it. So I have vowed maybe this Wednesday, I will go and see what their meat situation is. Not that I have any room in my freezer. So I really need to eat the meat that's in there first. But anyways, I totally thought of you and I meant to send you a DM. Okay. So Matt Rife is super fun, super, his merch wasn't that great. Like my sister-in-law wanted to shop at it, but then she didn't want to spend the money. I didn't even think it was that cute. Like a sweatshirt was 75, another sweatshirt was 80. Not sure what I just didn't love the design. Plus it's got him as blonde hair and I do not like him with blonde hair. Okay, if you saw my Instagram over the weekend, I did watch the Lori Vallow Daybell interview with Keith Morrison on Dateline. What a bitch she is. I mean, she is just a fame whore bitch. She literally admitted nothing. This is the lady that I think it was her 5th husband at the end of the day. She has 3 different kids, one child that is like, I don't know how old he is right now, 26, 29. Not sure how he is right now. Another daughter at 16 that she ended her own life. Lori killed her or somebody killed her. We don't know. And then a son that she had adopted also was killed at 7. So a 16-year-old and 7-year-old, she was on the lam. She and her husband at the time thought they were going to get away with everything. They had killed one of her ex-husband, her latest ex-husband. They had killed the Daybell guy's ex-wife, who he was married to for like 30 years. She didn't answer anything. She didn't apologize for anything. She wasn't remorseful for anything. I mean, at one point, this was a very hard question to hear. Keith said, "Were you present when your children died?" In other words, maybe you didn't do it, even though you've been convicted, but were you present? And she was like, oh, she didn't even cry. Like, what soul wouldn't even tear up or choke up or just sob, even if you didn't do that? But at the idea of somebody asking you that, knowing that your kids, are not alive, they like buried them. I mean, it was just disgusting. It was some details I'd either forgotten or never even knew. But the fact that they, dug a grave in his backyard, I'm like, it's almost like they wanted to get caught. I don't know. Yeah, Lucy says, I watch Dateline all the time, but I couldn't even, wait, where did that go? I couldn't watch it. I can't stand her. I had sort of forgotten who it was when they were interviewing her, and she was like, Keith, and just being all, ugh. It was only a 90-minute interview, so obviously we saw an hour of it with the commercials, but she was only allowed to be in there to talk for 90 minutes. At one point, she was like, oh, well, I guess you're going to have to come back. And the police at the jail were like, there is no coming back. Like, this is the only time we are going to let this girl see the media, because it feeds her ego. Like, she loves it so much, and she does not deserve that at all. Oh gosh, Debbie says, I want a Sarah from Texas t-shirt with the saying fame whore bitch on it. I mean, she is, right? Yes. Lisa says, most horrific tragedy. They make me sick. I mean, just disgusting. Definitely. Oh, right. I didn't even think about that. Shanda says, scary that she passed all the psych evaluations you have to get when you're adopting. What a psychopath. But that reminds me, at one point they showed the police interview, and she didn't give off any vibe or that anything was wrong either. So even the husband, remember, the husband knew something was going on. The husband was like, look, she keeps talking about murdering me. You're going to be dead. You're going to be dead. Well, he ended up being dead, right? Her brother ended up shooting him. So he never even got to go to jail for that. The brother, Eric, because he ended up having, did he have a stroke? No, what do you call it when an aneurysm in the lungs or whatever? He had a blood clot in his lungs. Is that what it's called? Her name is Lori, Lori, Vallow, Vallow, Daybell, Daybelo. And they were like part of this subculture of the Mormon church. Like, it wasn't exactly the Mormon church. You know what I mean? So yeah, Michael Riley says another Casey Anthony. But at least Casey Anthony stayed out of the limelight until she, popped onto TikTok last week, I guess, right? Oh my gosh, it was so disgusting. Okay, on better news, Wendy Williams, I saw this morning. So remember Susan, that was like she was the warm-up person, but she was also a producer on the show. I don't know her last name. Suzanne. she's kind of resurfaced lately because people were asking her what she thought of the documentaries and everything. She didn't participate in the documentaries that were the Where is Wendy Williams last year. And she put out a video of her on the phone with Wendy Williams. Somebody was recording like a minute of it maybe. And she said, "Oh, I'm helping her get ready for her View. She's going to be on The View Friday." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's amazing. That means she's going to get out and, what have you. She's going to have her voice heard." Then we hear that she got picked up at the hospital. No, not the hospital. She got picked up at the medical facility that she's been staying at because she was kind of waving down some paparazzi down below. And the police picked her up, and we see the video on TMZ of her being escorted and getting into the ambulance. She didn't talk, and she is going to, I think it's called Lenox Hill. It's a hospital in New York City. So she's going to have a mental evaluation to see if she is okay to have this whole guardianship thing taken away. Somebody's asking, where do you watch the interview? If it's not on Dateline, if you can't look it up on like your live shows or whatever you want to call it, like your menu, like we have DirecTV, then I would just Google where to see the Laura. Somebody probably put it up on YouTube. I don't know. Tamra freaking Judge claims last night, as they're on a cast trip for Real Housewives of Orange County, that she is quitting the show. She put up something that said something like, it's been a long run, but when real life hits you, you realize that this reality TV stuff is just full of shit and I'm out of here, something like that. So now we see a picture of her. I can't see a picture because she's had me blocked for so long. Stupid Tamra Judge. But y'all send it to me, so thank you. I checked my DMs and had to scroll around and find it. And then now y'all sent me a picture of her at the airport, basically saying goodbye. One thing I love is somebody sent me the picture of Gina basically saying business as usual, like a picture like life goes on. We're not, you know what I mean? Mike O'Reilly doesn't believe it at all. And this is what a lot of the comments on my TikTok said. So Mike O'Reilly says, "Don't bait us. Tamra has $1 million signed contract. She's not going anywhere." So you think she's lying like she did that last time and ran off when they were confronting her in that pool that they were in or whatever it was? Okay, good. Jet says Dateline has a YouTube channel and it's on the free NBC News app or Pluto, Pluto. Okay, thank you so much. Anyways, wait, what? What happened? Southern Belle says, "I'm watching Escape to the Country and it makes me wonder, where is Mabu?" So Mabu updated us in the Facebook group. I guess she didn't have Facebook and created a new account because some people were worried that it wasn't really Mabu because it was a brand new Facebook account, and posted and joined the Facebook group and said, I won't repeat her business, but she's had a life-altering event and she's kind of getting through it. So she's kind of been through a lot because she's posted for months now different things that were going on with her husband. She says she felt bullied here by someone that made some comment or something, and so took a little break, and now this other thing has happened. So prayers for Mabu. She's kind of been through it the last few months or so. Anyways, but she did update us on the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. So good riddance, Teddy. I mean, Andy Cohen was asked about it this morning on Andy Cohen Live, and he basically said, "I can't really comment on shows when we're still filming because they're still filming OC." But he basically said, let's just not forget that one of her best friends, if not her only best friend, meaning Teddi Mellencamp, is going through something very horrible medically. But she hasn't stopped her podcast. So I really don't think that's a good excuse at all. I mean, like, she's kept going with the podcast. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I can't answer for Mabu. I don't have a PM or DM relationship with her. So I don't talk to her privately. Not that I would share her information. I'm saying I don't know. Anything she's put out has been on here or in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. So y'all can reach out to her there. So Andy didn't really say anything, but he does kind of allude to maybe this is getting to her, everything that Teddy's going through. Vanna White, which I knew. So Vanna White, who was recently in the audience of Watch What Happens Live, told Andy that she only works 34 days out of the year when she does Wheel of Fortune. Well, I knew that because years ago, Wheel of Fortune did like a travel show and they came to Houston and my friend and I got tickets. And it was so fun because during the commercials, they stopped for commercial time, but then they talked to the audience. They were very nice. So her and Pat Sajak told us at that time, total in the whole year, they work 34 days. So they basically bang out and record a bunch of shows. Even when they do their promo trips to like Hawaii and stuff, all of that is included in the 34 days out of the year. So that is crazy. So I sort of love that so much. Also, John Hill let us know he, in a couple of days, is about to have, he's not having a complete hair transplant, but it almost sounds like he's doing preventative stuff that Jeff talked about, but now Jeff's not talking about it at all. Like, remember, Jeff was not going to go to the one doctor that was far away. He was going to find a closer doctor, and now he's not really updating us on the hair thing at all. I don't know if he's maybe in talks to do something, if he decided it wasn't worth it, if he didn't need it. I don't know. But John Hill, I think, has great hair, and yet he's going to get this done. So I don't know. Oh, did I say good riddance, Teddy? I meant good riddance, Tamara. Sorry if I said good riddance, Teddy. Debbie says, don't you think it's low, even for Tamara, to seemingly be using Teddy's dire health crisis as part of her storyline? Yes, because she hasn't stopped doing the podcast. So it's like, if you really wanted to be respectful, you would be like, okay, let's just take a break on this podcast for a while because it is me and Teddy's podcast. No, when one of them go off, the podcast goes on. Teddy would continue with other guests. When Tamara was on Traders and she was gone for that. When she's filming for OC, she's not allowed to talk about it. So Teddy brings somebody else in. So anyways. Oh, I love that. Meg says, I was in Myrtle Beach a few weeks ago and ran into Vanna White and her family. Who is her family? Just her son, right? Or didn't she just have a son? She's from Myrtle Beach. Oh, okay. She has always been so beautiful, so classy. Like, her legs are beautiful. Like, I just love her. And they were so nice. On the commercial breaks, her and Pat Sajak were just so nice. And that was, oh my, I mean, I've been married almost 25 years. That was 30 years or more. It was definitely between college and when I got married. So it was good. Oh, Sarah Lee. Yeah, I feel that way too. Sarah Lee says, I think Teddy did the bulk of the work for their podcast. I feel like Teddy, because she was let go from being a housewife years before that, yeah, she was more of a fan of the show. Whereas, Tamara kind of still felt like she had her leg in the housewife world. And yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh, Jet says, Meg, did Vanna look as pretty in person? I feel like she does. So she looks so young. I just feel like she's so beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, let's chat Jeff Lewis live. Tracy Tutor and Justin Sylvester were on the first hour. I felt it was so conversational. I just felt like it was the good old days. Like, maybe Tracy Tutor doesn't come on all that much, but I love that when she comes on, she has new stories to tell. Like, she's either dating someone new or she's not. She's got, she's switched, real estate companies. She's got a thing going in Dallas. She updates us on her kids. I mean, I really loved the conversation. And I definitely think that Justin Sylvester can hold his own. But I think he also listens to the show or knows enough about Jeff because he does have a house in Hancock Park. So the house that Jeff has been remodeling, if you will, for, I don't know, a year or two now, probably almost 2 years, Justin has a house in that neighborhood. So he can drive by it, run by it, whatever, and see kind of what's going on. But he did let Jeff know the neighbors are already bitching and moaning because he had people working there late. Now, I don't know what they call late, but he says he even had workers at his house at like 5:30 p.m. And the neighbors were upset about that. I'm like, dang. Like, I've never really thought, like, our houses around here were built in like 2003, 2002. So we put on a new roof in, when was that? 2019. So before we really needed one, but we did our roof then. A lot of people this year have been totally redoing their or replacing their roofs. So, I mean, those people come in, they want to start first thing in the morning and try to finish that night, right? So they definitely stay till it goes dark at like 7:30, because it's not summer yet. But nobody around here gets mad that people are working. I mean, they're not making even roof, it's not making that much noise to be upset about. So if people are working inside Jeff's house, why are people mad that it's like, I don't know, 6:30, 7 o'clock at night? I don't really know. So bizarre. But I thought it was really good. Tracy Tutor totally spilled the tea on Dorit Kemsley. Makes no bones that she doesn't like Dorit. I loved every minute of it. She even said, I wouldn't mind going on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills just to come at somebody, a few people. And I think she definitely meant Dorit Kemsley. So she let us know. So Chris Dillon X is the hair guy that Tracy Tutor uses, and she's friends with him, but he does a lot of other famous people too. So he does Kathy Hilton. He used to do Dorit, but now he doesn't do her hair anymore because Dorit doesn't pay her bills and she owes him money. So I think Tracy would have kept that to herself if whatever Dorit, she says she's been coming at her and like scrolling her Instagram and like finding stuff. So I thought it was really good. Really, really juicy stuff. I would totally like to see her come out. I didn't like when because Jeff, I think, knows that Chris Dillon X goes as a male, goes by the male pronouns. So even though he said he was trying to be genuine about it, he's like, okay, I'm just asking honestly, is he a girl or a boy? And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I felt like he knew that. You know what I mean? Tracy would be great on that show. Which show? What are you talking about? Heather says Tracy would be great on that show. Uh-oh. Who has tea? Mackenzie, spill the tea. Mackenzie Place says, have you heard about Vanna White at the Playboy Mansion? Wild. No, but I really don't know what I would believe there. Unless she's like a secret wild girl. She was married, I think, a lot of her life. I feel like her husband did pass away, but I think she was married a lot of her life too, though, right? I don't know. Yes, Debbie Hayes says, I would love to see Tracy take a bite out of Dorit. LOL. Dorit definitely needs her ego kicked down a notch, don't you feel like? I mean, especially when all this is going on about PK and your marriage and your finances, she's still just like all hoity-toity and a little too big in the head, if you ask me. Okay, Jeff brings up his neighbors. Seriously, I almost didn't understand it. Did y'all understand what he was talking about? Let me know in comments, because maybe I don't really understand this. A neighbor reached out to him, like saw him driving into his driveway and kind of stopped him and said, hey, can you trim these hedges? Well, I think these are kind of the hedges he was talking about on Hollywood House Lift, where he was trying to get these hedges to be planted and to grow up for Fortune Feimster's house for privacy. And I don't know why you would trim them. Like he said, his neighbor gets the credit for these also because they are hedges between them both. So then they both get privacy, right? I don't know. I didn't really understand. So apparently he did have his guy trim the hedges, and then she asked again for something else to be done. I'm like, I get that it becomes a pain. I'm trying to think. I've owned 3 different houses. I don't think we've ever had an issue with a neighbor with things growing over or something growing over them, or you know what I mean? Like, I do kind of agree with Jeff though. If somebody had a tree growing over and it was dropping berries that maybe he didn't want, because Jeff, he's super type A. He is not going to have somebody step on a berry, or maybe it was a berry that his dog could have eaten. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think I would trim it too. But even Tracy was like, don't be doing that. Don't tell them. You have to ask permission. They could get upset with you. And I'm like, oh my God, these neighbors these days that just have nothing better to do. You know what I mean? I love when you call her Poor Eat. Lisa Lewis says, y'all are killing me about Poor Eat instead of Dorit. Oh, Cecile says, I don't even watch Beverly Hills anymore. I definitely watch that. I didn't watch Atlanta last night. Obviously, I was at, Matt Rife, but I don't have it even set up to record. I just don't think I'll make time for Atlanta. I don't want to learn 4 new housewives from that show. And I don't know. I wouldn't mind. I know. unpopular, but I would not mind a little Kim Zolciak coming back. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay, so Tracy did update us that maybe she's gonna. I don't think $1 Million Listing LA is coming back. I don't even know if. God, that show was so good. Like, are the ratings bad? Like, what is going on? What channel was that on? E channel? Where is $1 Million Listing? No, Bravo. Right? Was it Bravo or E channel? Can't even remember. But she does say that she might have a Dallas show that they're trying to work an angle for. I don't even know if that would be on Bravo though. You know what I mean? Oh, there's big money, real money, or not fake money. Shanda says some big money on Atlanta this season. Ooh, that actually excites me. Okay, Louise says Atlanta was good. Is it Shami? How do you pronounce it? Shamia? I had no idea. Shamia is so rich now. I don't know who that is. Was Beverly Hills on last night? No, Beverly Hills is on Tuesday nights, right? Am I getting it mixed up? Yes, Jet. Thank you so much. Dorit needs to take a page out of Erica's playbook and show some humility as she loses it all. At least Erica was temporarily humble. Yeah, I think she's definitely back now, right? But she was temporarily humble for sure. Yeah. Michael Riley says homes over the top homes, over the top 4 elevators in one home. Wow. Is this Shamia? Is that how you print? Am I saying it right? Oh, she's a car worth $500,000, Heather says. Wow. Yes, I would totally watch that train wreck. Southern Belle says, don't you dare say Kim Zolciak should be on. I'll never watch her. I would absolutely watch her, and I think the views would go up. I think the ratings would go up. Speaking of Kim Zolciak, where is Nene Leakes? Like, what is going on with her? Remember for a while, she was like anti Andy Cohen, anti-Bravo. I think they were suing. And then she like starred in Cinderella. Then she had this little stint on a TV show of some sort. Felt like she was kind of going the actor route. I don't know what's going on now. I don't know what's going on. Okay. I love it. Michael Rowley says, sorry, the back of my ear gets dry and it drives me nuts. I end up picking the back of my ear like every single day. Does anyone else have like dry areas? Is that gross? So gross. It's like the little crevice of my ear. Like it's so gross. And then it's like I can't stop. So I end up doing it, not even thinking about it. Okay, Michael Rowley says, over the top breasts. Lots of breasts, tight clothes. Cynthia's there, Kenya's there, Drew is there, and lots of yelling. Oh, already on episode 1. Okay, well they did it right. She did? No way. I forgot about that. Nene and Bethany did. Tracy says Nene did an anti-Andy Cohen podcast with Bethany Frankel. That's hilarious. There's so many projects that Bethany has like started and stopped and because they failed and I just kind of forget about them. You know what I mean? Oh, that's so bad. Okay. Y'all are making me want to watch Atlanta now. Is it Shamia? Am I saying it right? I've literally never heard her name. I couldn't pick her out in a picture. Shamia married an African prince that installs air conditioning units. Cecile says, you've got me checking the back of my ears. Does anyone else have that? It's like that tiny little, that little crevice part, that little by your neck, you know what I mean? It's so gross. But it's so fulfilling. It's like, just the skin that just peels off. And then of course it comes up the next day. Get some cortisone cream. But do I want it to go away? I think it just needs lotion. I guess it's just dry skin. Cortisone cream. Is that that's not anti-itch medicine, right? Because it doesn't itch. Heather says use some cortisone cream from your pharmacy, Sarah. It will go away in no time. I've had it for so long. I don't even know that I want it to go away. It's like a thing that I do. You know what I mean? Anyways, okay. I thought it was a really good conversation. Very easy. Second hour was Joey Zauzig and Eden Sassoon. Joey and Eden both are those that always bring up that the audience hates them. Oh, the blogs. Oh, this. They're going to say this. And I'm just like, I've said it before. I just don't want them even talking about it. You know what I mean? Not giving it any air, because I feel like it makes Jeff uncomfortable because he doesn't want to hear that people are doing that. But but I'm sure he knows about it. But he doesn't want to be reminded that he's got two guests on that the audience always complains about, which is something he brings up that we'll chat about in a second. So a lot of the hour was Joey's relationships, how quickly he gets into them, how he always says, "Oh, I'm just having fun. I'm single. I'm this." And then he's like, "Oh, I love this guy. We're dating." I mean, it's just like everything gets a little bit crazy. Everything gets a little, oh, it could be residue from my shampoo. Debbie says, Sarah, it could be residue from your shampoo. Just right there, the little nape, I guess. Okay, why wouldn't it rinse off though? Now I'm so confused. I did wash my hair yesterday, which y'all know I don't wash my hair every single day. I did wash it yesterday. Still wore it in a ponytail to Matt Rife, but at least washed it. Joey, oh, you kind of said it right. I don't even know about the victim. Okay, Heather says Joey and Eden Sassoon are professional victims. It's almost like the sob stories. I mean, Eden's like, oh, this, oh, that. I'm single. I haven't had sex in this many years, and I'm this. And I mean, I don't know. I'm sober. I mean, I don't know. She's just, yeah. See, my hands were right here, and all of a sudden the mute button went on. It does feel like, she definitely wants to be included at ChumpCon, but she's not. I assume Jeff is done hiring for ChumpCon. Does anyone else think he's still hiring for ChumpCon? Oh, she is the one that says she doesn't wash her hair for like a month at a time, right? They didn't talk about her hair today, but don't forget, Eden Sassoon is from the whole Sassoon shampoo line, all of that whole family. That's why she had a tiny stint on Beverly Hills, because she's rich and comes from money. Michael Riley says, Eden needs a bath. I wash my hair more than Eden Sassoon. Oh my goodness. Yes. Jet says there are not enough hugs available on the planet to ever say she hates Joey. He's endlessly needy and it exhausts anyone he's with. I do feel bad for him because he has said before that even though he's this huge social media person and influencer, and he really doesn't have a lot of close friends. And you don't need a lot of close friends. You just need a couple. But I don't think he's ever said he even has a couple. And we know he's talked about being kind of screwed over by some of the friends that he's had. So I really do feel like he's kind of lonely. He might seem like he's everyone's friend and he's always there to uplift people and motivate people. And that's kind of the essence of his social media. But I think at the end of the day, I think he's a very lonely, needy person. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Mackenzie said there's an episode of Howie Mandel Does Stuff podcast. He interviewed an actor that used to be a butler at the mansion. Can't think of his name. He had a friend role on Will and Grace. Oh, okay. Okay. I guess you're talking about the whole Vanna White being at the mansion, the Playboy Mansion. I don't know. LTD. I feel, and he's so nice in person. Don't get me wrong. He is really one of the nicest chumps. Like he really does make an effort to talk to all the fans, but I think it feeds him. I think he loves that. I think he's doing it because it makes him feel good. He's not doing it because he makes the fans feel better. Does that make sense? And I don't mean to be rude. I feel like he needs the recognition. He needs the notoriety, the fame, the compliments, which is fine. I mean, everyone has a different personality. We all have friends that can give, and just not ever, or take, and not ever give. You know what I mean? And I feel like Joey doesn't mean to be that way. But even they were talking about like he was going through it the night of the Hollywood horror night scene that they were there with the one guy that he had just had a bad time with. And then also he was like, oh, at Cabo, that whole time, everyone was looking at me and Brian going, oh, y'all are going to split up soon. He was like, is it that obvious? I think he thought that much arguing was normal, and like their lack of, it seemed like they were all just friends. Like they weren't even that much, you know what I mean? That's true. Mariah Joy says you have to know how to be a friend to have a friend. 4 quarters is better than 100 pennies. What a cute saying. I love that. So true. Yeah. Debbie says, I've always said that if Jeff would say the sky is green and the grass is blue today, Joey would say, I was just going to say that. I felt like that's what Eden Sassoon was doing today, though. Even at one point, Eden Sassoon said something like, I'm here to back Jeff up. And I'm like, that's what you're here for? Like, seriously? It's kind of weird. I think so too. And what is Joey, like 32? I feel like he's in his young 30s. I mean, just for him to even say this weekend or yesterday, whatever it was, he thinks he's ready to have a kid. I'm like, oh my God, you're so not ready. He was even, for the longest time, saying that he and Brian were about to start the process to have a kid. And I'm like, y'all are not in a romantic situation for that, or it seems to be a financial situation for that. I don't feel like Joey has any idea how much emotional and time commitment having a kid is and what a priority it should take in your life. Heather says, I think as we get older, friends like Joey, as sweet as they may be, exactly, are too exhausting. Yeah. We are going to have time for questions and comments. So if you want, click on that StreamYard.com link and you can come on to ask a question or comment, or obviously you can do it on the YouTube. Joey kids, no, maybe he thinks that will get him closer to Jeff's wallet. His wallet? Why would it get him closer to his wallet? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, the rest of the show was, lots of jabs and at Joey's relationship. At one point, Jeff said, I think it's going to be years before you need to get to a relationship. I don't know about years. I mean, one caller even called in and said, Jeff, I love that you're giving advice. In the last, she said 2, but Jeff reminded her, hey, what about Scott? The last 3 long-term relationships you've had have been shit shows. And Jeff has long said that he needs and craves a lot of drama and chaos in his relationships. So I think a lot of his long-term relationships have been kind of not so great. So I don't really know that he's the one to give advice. I think what it is that Joey keeps going back, and Joey will say one thing while he's doing another. And I think that is what drives Jeff crazy. So I think Jeff is ready for him to just be like, look, I'm in a relationship. It's an absolute shit show. Or get your stuff together and be in a loving, relationship where you talk about things and you don't lead people on. You don't say, oh, I'm single, I'm whatever. But then you've got this guy that you're basically saying, I don't want to go on another date with. Well, then that's not being single. You know what I mean? Did he ever do a Taco Bell commercial? I mean, he will sell anything, which is his job, right? He's an influencer. That's what he does when he first came on, he was selling the, whatever that not creatine. What was the stuff he was selling? The stuff to make you go poop or lose weight, whatever that crap was. I don't know. It's just because he got money off of it. It's his job. He's an influencer. Debbie says, Joey doesn't do Taco Bell commercials though, right? I don't follow him on Instagram. I think I had to unfollow him because he posts a lot. Well, yeah. Oh, is he a model? I mean, what did he say? Did he say he eats 250 grams of protein a day? Is that what he said? I couldn't hear it, and I was in my kitchen far away, and I didn't go back to rewind it. Because that 15-second rewind and 15-second fast forward is on the live app now. I am so loving that. I am never going to listen to a commercial on SiriusXM again. I'm so loving it. You don't have to wait for the replay show to come up anymore. That 15-second. And if you don't hear something, you don't have to skip it back to like 20 minutes. You can just skip back 15 seconds till you hear something. Anyways, Jeff is talking about being up 8 pounds. He's got to take new pictures Friday. So I guess we're finally going to get the last picture is years ago that he took one day, and it's the picture they use for everything. So, he hasn't had new pictures done in a while, but he's trying to lose 8 pounds of that. Eden admits she takes Ozempic every 4 weeks. And I'm like, she's tiny. I can't imagine anybody prescribing that to her. Like, she's never been big that I can remember. So it's not like she was big and lost all this weight. Now she's maintaining. I think she does it for some other like OCD reasons of like thinking about food and all that. But as far as like anything, I can't imagine she got it legitimately, because I can't imagine any doctor prescribing that medication to her at her size. So I don't know. Jeff was real clear. If you DM him, don't just say, I won't be listening this day. I won't be listening to that day. If it's Kelly Dodd, if it's Patty Stanger, who else are some big ones? Jody Sweeten back in the day. He's not going to care. What he wants to hear is some solutions. So DM him and say, hey, you haven't had such and such on a while. Or what about this new actor? What about this comedian? What about this person? And maybe they'll have him on. Like, DM him with solutions. Don't DM him with the negative stuff, because you're definitely not going to get a response back. I feel like, you know what I mean? Oh, Candace says, as an addict, I want to take it to quiet the noise. So, like, does it help other addictions? I mean, they are saying, and I met with a girl that said that she just didn't want to smoke anymore. So and alcohol. So I do think they are going to find that this, GLP-1 medication is helping with a lot of things. So I am absolutely okay with it. But at this point, I do think it is only prescribed for weight loss, whether you have other things or not. So I don't really know. Anyways. But yeah, who do you think he needs to have on? What are some people that you want to have on together? He also wants to hear if you think, oh, this person should be on with this one. Like Zach Noe Towers and Judge Lauren Lake are a great duo, but he has broken them up for a while, which makes them talk to other people. And then you get how other people are being on together. No, she was on last week. They're all good. Like, she didn't. Mountain Girl says MJ is on again. What does she have on Jeff? No idea. He just likes her, and he's not gonna, you know what I mean? I think he really does. Sarah Lee says, why do people complain to Jeff? He doesn't care what his fans think. So as much as Jeff, and he and I have talked about this, because, I've told him, look, dude, like, you obliterated me with your comments, and you have to understand what you say matters, and your fans do. He does care. So he'll say, oh, I don't read the blogs. I don't read the comments. Doesn't mean he does. Like, we've seen him on the Jeff Lewis video before they took the video away. We've seen him sitting there on his phone reading, and then he would say something that was a comment from underneath his Instagram coffee picture. So we know he reads them, because also, why wouldn't you want to see in real time what somebody is thinking of the show? This person is on too much. They're talking too much. I can't stand this person. Maybe he adjusts, and on the commercial break, he might say, hey, let's talk about this. They said we're talking about that too much. I absolutely disagree. I think Jeff very much cares what people think. Okay, let me rephrase that. He definitely cares what people think, but it's also more about, he just loves the radio show. I think he loves the radio show so much. Oh my God, I love that so much. Sarah Lee says, studies now for treating addiction with semaglutide, promising results. I love that so much. Love that so much. As y'all know, real quick, I've been on the GL1 medication for about two months now. I switched over to Mochi Health, which has been so good for so many reasons. The prices are incredible. I love that they're only medical doctors who specialize in weight loss medication. So it's not a doctor that doesn't know about these drugs. They absolutely know about the drugs. I love that you can get a quick appointment. I love that they mail you the medication. They take insurance to get the generic. They take insurance to get the brand name medications, or they take and do the compounded semaglutide and tirzepatide, which is what I'm on, the compounded tirzepatide. So I have stayed on the lowest dose so far. I will see on March 13th will be exactly 2 months that I've been on the medication total. So I will see what my total weight loss has been. I am one of the slower weight losers, but I'm absolutely okay with that because, um, I think I can see that I'm losing inches, and I'm just trying not to like hyper focus on like weighing myself and all of that. But anyways, happy to see that is helping with lots of other things besides just food noise and appetite suppression. I love that there's going to be a lot more uses for this medication because I think a lot of us that have that, it might be other addictions in our life too. Food addiction might lead to other things. So anyways, check my link tree. I do have a 40 off link that will give you $40 off if you use my referral code. So, and when you get on it, you get a referral code to give your friends and family. And then every time somebody signs up on your link, you get $40 off your medication. If you're on the semaglutide or tirzepatide, doesn't work if you're on the brand name because then that goes through a pharmacy and everything. Yeah, I do think I'm seeing inches. And it's hard because I see my body every day, multiple times, like when I change clothes throughout the day, when I shower a few times. So it's hard for me to see it, so slowly. So I'm just trying not to hyper focus on the weight of it all. You know what I mean? But Allison says, yes, you see the loss of inches I feel first. Yeah. So Gabby, good question. Will you ever attend another live event? I bet your fans miss you. I mean, we have so much fun before, during, and after the Jeff Lewis live events. So it doesn't mean that I won't go to something else. I have no idea. I don't even know that he'll do other events. I also don't even know that I'm going to make BravoCon this year because it's right in between when I'm going to be doing my bunion surgeries on my left foot and then my right foot. So I've got to figure all of that up. You know what I mean? I wonder, Raquel says not having the video has affected the ratings, and I think he's realizing it. I mean, I don't know. It's so crazy. I don't even think they edited it. It just seems to be thrown up there. So I don't understand why they can't just do the video and put it right up. Like there's no post-production to it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It feels like they should. I mean, I had no idea. I mean, we've all listened to it before he even had video. Since I do a, podcast about it, it's hard for me. I couldn't watch the video and then talk about it because it always came up at night, but I had no idea until afterwards that so many people that got used to watching the video at night and then canceled their Sirius XM. Like so many people have DM'd me that and said, I just canceled it. Yep. See, Louise says I canceled when the video stopped and have not missed it at all. Wow. I know. Jet says, in the scheme of things, how much would it cost for Jeff to just pay for the video? I wonder. Yeah, the no video wasn't his call, Gabby says. Exactly. It was definitely Sirius XM stopping that. I do wonder if he just doesn't have the permission to post it, not on YouTube, because then that would be giving it away for free. But I guess he doesn't own the rights to post the video and then turn around and make money on it, because then people would be paying him and bypassing Sirius XM. So there's really no way for it to go up with, I believe, with him maintaining whatever contract he has for the next year or so. So crazy. Katrina says, I believe it with other addictions. I work at a liquor store on the weekends as a part-time job, and I used to at least do a shot with some of my customers occasionally. Now I have no desire. The thought gags me. So I love that. And, a couple years ago, Megan said she went on the weight loss medication to lose weight, but she also loved the side effect, which we now know has been studied, that she didn't want to drink as much. And now we know she's sober. So I absolutely love that for her. And I love that it ends up working on other people that may not have a weight issue, but may have a drinking addiction, a smoking addiction. any other shopping addictions, any other thing that kind of makes people not feel stable in their lives. You know what I mean? Okay, that's about it for the day. Royal Chumpettes, if you are if you're an Instagram subscriber, don't forget we go Ask Me Anything every Sunday night. I could not do it last night because I had the Matt Rife concert. So tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's a little bit later than normal, but I do have Body Combat to get to. And it is a weeknight instead. So give everybody a little bit of time, get home, get settled, eat some dinner, get in their jammies, and join us. And if you haven't joined before, it's $4.99 a month. You can join on my Sarah from Texas Instagram and just hit the subscribe button. And then you get to see all the past Ask Me Anythings also. So I will see you there at 9 p.m. Eastern. There's also a private chat that we chat on. And I'll put a reminder in there too also. Oh, Louise, that's such a long question. Louise says, what happened with Megan and Jeff? The gist of it, the latest, is that he didn't like how she didn't defend him on a phone call on a May 31st Jeff Lewis live show the day after a live event that they had that I was at. And at that point, he realized they were donezo. So she might follow him. I don't think he follows her on Instagram. They are definitely he said recently he has no plans to reactivate that friendship. He says sometimes it's just too far gone. So, so there's a lot with Megan and Jeff, but yeah, I think they're donezo. Okay, thank you so much for joining live. If you're listening as a replay, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you follow me everywhere at Sarah from Texas Podcast, or listen as a podcast at Sarah from Texas. And make sure to hit the 5-star rating and review. I would really appreciate it. Have an amazing Monday, and I will see you tomorrow, same place, same time. Bye, Chumpettes.